You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Campbell.
Good afternoon, everybody. We got Will Vogel in the chat already. Wow, it's getting lit already. 5 of you watching. Let's see where you're at. You are all on my channel on YouTube, which is amazing. For those that are watching on Roku, if you want to be able to make comments that we see here on the stream, make sure you go to either the Facebook app or YouTube and look up Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. It's a page, and it's also a YouTube channel. And you'll be able to talk and see your comments live. Some of the Twitter comments come through, but not all of them. We are live in the Huddle Sports Network, not only on Facebook, but also on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. So if you want to watch on your TV and then watch through the page, that's fantastic, because then you can comment, and I'll see your comments. I've missed a few of the guys that come in from there because we hadn't been able to go live on those channels. So thank you if you're there. Make your comments, make yourself known. So there's all sorts of crazy rumors out there. Somebody said trade Ayuk for JMO and a first and a fourth. I think that's ludicrous. Because Ayuk is a St. Brown light. I don't want two of the exact same players on the team that require high dollar contracts. You need that staggered. Somebody who's fast, somebody who's good. You have to have that. Whether the fast guy is good or not, teams have to respect the speed and cover him downfield in deep coverage, which takes a guy off the underneath guys. Matt Henry, good to see you. I'm glad to be back on the Huddle Up Sports Network so you can comment, because that new thing they did on June 10th damn near wrecked everything. I agree, Will Vogel. I'm not going to trade a developing talent within his first 3 years. I'm just not that guy. And Clickbait Sports, A to Z Sports, they're saying that the Lions should trade Hooker. Well, then who's backing up? Yeah, we got a lot of cap room, but why do we want to spend it on a former starter? I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not trading away a guy that costs you $1 million a year when he's the best thing on the roster other than Jared Goff. Because if Goff goes down and we have to depend on Suckbelt, we know we're screwed. You write off the season. That's just me. So, top O line. Let me see. Hooker as a solid backup and would have gone first round if not hurt in college and would have won the Heisman. Yeah, it wasn't last season, it was 2 seasons ago, but we got it. I understand. You got that take for me before because if Hendon Hooker didn't get hurt, he had only 2 interceptions at that time. No, it's not that's all of us. Talking heads are bored. I know the talking heads at Woodward Sports have got to make up something. Just saying. I hear so many bad takes out of that place. They have a lot of good takes too. That's why they're well. That's why they're well versed. They know the sport. They have actual players on their podcast. It's just some of the things they say. It makes you wonder: do they have one brain cell in their friggin' head? So the top O lines in the NFC. Right now, I have it as Detroit Lions at 1. I still have the Eagles at 2 because their backup center played in the 2 games that Kelsey missed last year, and he did a good job. So the tush push might not go away as some people predict. Oh my God. Uh, and here we go. The words that are reflected by Jeremy Ballrick Jr. do not reflect the reviews of this channel. If you think so, please help me. No, because sometimes he actually has good conversation and good points, but lately all he's been doing is trolling. I think it's a Green Bay Packer fan in disguise. Hence why I said what I said. Exactly, Matt Henry. And it's the same with JMO. Um, you know exactly what you have in Brandon Ayuk, which isn't bad. He's very good. He'll be the best number 2 wide receiver on somebody's team. But to get the exact same guy that Saint Brown is, I don't think it makes sense. To have 2 guys that aren't the fastest on the team, both run great routes. Watch it really be your son trolling his own dad. Orlando, I'll message you later on why it won't be that. And yes, you agree. Same thing with JMO. Uh, for all I know, it could be my dad trolling me, but Smoking Dad doesn't. Wait, that's a good point. Smoking Dad and Jeremy Ballrick Jr. are never online at the same time. Is Smoking Dad messing with me? Just like we never see Will Vogel and Daniel Jones in the same place. It just doesn't happen. Clark Kent and Superman. This is a prove it year for JMO. And I gave the baseline, what I consider my bottom numbers for JMO to be considered. Stop it, Will. If you were, you'd be on an NFL team. Because look at Trevor Lawrence got paid better than Daniel Jones, and he's not better than Daniel Jones. I'll say it again. Will Vogel and the Joker. Orlando Escobar Jr. and the Penguin. Can't never seen them two in the same place at the same time. Oh boy. So let's go back to my list. Let's start over again. Lions are at the top. Eagles are number 2. I got the 49ers at 3 because they added to their room and they didn't lose a lot. So I think they're at 3. And then there's a plethora of teams you could throw in it for. Somebody could say the Cowboys, but you're depending on 2 rookies to replace 2 All Pros. So I don't know if you can do that. Buccaneers had a solid O line, but they lost their All Pro center and drafted a great one. Um, so the 4 is in the question. Atlanta number 4, run wise, pass wise, they weren't. They got to get better in the passing game. Otherwise, Kirk Cousins will struggle there. Oh. Um, right. That's my point. If you look at Love's first season as a starter, it makes Trevor Lawrence's and Daniel Jones look like crap. But if you look at their rookie seasons, and yes, Trevor Lawrence had the dumpster fire that was Urban Meyer his rookie year, but Daniel Jones had no wide receivers, Kenny Drop a Day, and Joe Judge. So I don't want to hear that he had a better system there at the Giants because there was better weapons in Jacksonville at the time when Trevor got there. They still had DJ Shark. They still had who was the other one they had? Laviska Shenault, who emerged that year. Uh, and they drafted Travis Etienne in the same draft. So he had plenty of weapons, but Travis Etienne got hurt in game 3. Urban Meyer got fired in game 5 after a game in Cincinnati where he went to the old bar that he owns and finger banged a waitress on camera in the butt while married. That's real intelligent. Poor Giants. He's working. He's earning his money. Whether it's a street corner or for Pepsi, I can't say. And Kadarius, yeah, Stonehenge Jabroni and Darius Slayton. Um, who was the other one they had? Oh yeah, their best wide receiver the entire, and they had Evan Engram at the back end of a contract on a team he didn't want to be at. Sterling Shepard was his only consistent guy, but he wasn't fast anymore because he was getting past his prime. Like I said, he went viral like sexy. I can hear it now every time Orlando gets ready to watch the show. He plays that song by Wheeler Walker Jr. Drop 'em out, let me see them titties. Oh man, hey, I'm not gonna fault Dan Leonard for being one of the best work ethics I've seen as a man. I had one, but the heat has killed it. I don't care where I'm at. Titties will forever be funny. Do you know what song I'm talking about, Orlando Escobar Jr.? Have you seen it? If not, go on YouTube, look up the video, and watch it. It's hilarious. So I could put Atlanta there, but I think there's one better. I don't. Google it. It'll be worth it. You'll like it. Um, and it sounds just like it. It's spelled just like it songs sounds. Wheeler like 18 wheeler. Walker Jr. He's got some good songs. My favorite one is "Fornicate You Female Dog." Insert the cuss words where needed. Hawk Tush is worthy of googling. I've seen it already. Hawk Tua. Yeah. Yeah, that's another trade rumor out there. TJ going to the Miami Dolphins and the hot Tua connection. Speaking of, what do you think about Bakhtiari saying he could play more? I think Higgins is a free agent next year, and they'll get compensatory picks in another year. And the same with Ayuk. Unless somebody makes them one hell of a trade offer, Ayuk's going nowhere on the last year of his rookie contract because they got to give him enough compensation to take away the 2 picks they'll get for him when he walks in free agency. So they'll automatically get like a third and a fifth or a third and a sixth for him. So the offer's got to be better than that. So you got to at least offer a second rounder and then as late of a pick or later. So I'm thinking I'm going around the league in my head with all the teams and their O lines. I already said the top 3. 4, you got to put Cowboy. I don't want to put Cowboys there, but they're more consistently until it's done. They're more consistent there at O line than most of the other teams. I mean, Dak was one of the least sacked quarterbacks last year. Do you guys realize only 3 quarterbacks played all 17 games last year? 3 in the entire NFL. I'll start from the top and go down. Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Jordan Love. That's it. Nobody else played all 17 games. And that's pretty crazy if you think about it. And not all of them are due to injury, that's for sure. Some of them are due to poor play. Best ability is availability. By availability, the top and let's see. 4 of the top 10 QBs played less than 10 games. Bakhtiari saying he can play more when? Every time he says he can play more, he gets on the field and he's hurt by the 5th game of the year. I don't think he can play anymore. Running QB has its faults too. And I'm not even talking about the running QBs. Believe it or not, Lamar Jackson played 15 games. Um, Pat Mahomes played 15 games. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a running QB. He played 4. Aaron Rodgers, is he athletic? Not really. He's athletic enough to get you a first down in a third and short situation, but he doesn't run like he used to. But he played less snaps than everybody, and he's a statue of a quarterback anymore. He's a game manager with a cannon for an arm. I don't want the ex-Packer on my team with this. I'm not saying I want him on my team. So that being said, what do you think about the other thing that's being proposed? A separate salary cap just for QBs. Give them their own pool of money, separate from the roster. That way, people can he can go play with his buddy for the Jets, and that more than likely will happen. You know what he'll be? He'll be a cheap, not vet minimum, but middle of the road tackle signing, probably for the Jets as a backup in case someone gets hurt, and steal money sitting on the bench because he'll garner. probably 8 to 13 million as a backup because of his leadership and the fact he's been an all-pro before. So he'll probably get that, but that's still cheaper than the top rated guys at the position. After that, I'd say Cowboys, then Atlanta, probably Tampa Bay. Um, I can't even put the Bears in the top 10 until I see them play, Matt. I'm not trying to be mean. Um, but until I see that interior O line play together and see it gel and actually protect your quarterback, I can't put it there. Until I can see them actually create a positive yards before contact for your running backs. Also, it's been abysmal, and I'm not trying to be mean. It's been abysmal watching the Bears O line since probably Olin Kreutz retired. It's been bad. And the Lions O line has been bad since Barry retired until we got the new regime. Once we got Panay Sewell in there, that O line has been legit. And that's the only thing I worry about with the Bears. They don't have a young progressive O line with a long term deal in place because Tevin Jenkins, I'm not sold on him being good. He's okay when he's on the field, but he's not great. Yes, I'm on the prove it on the field. We look good on paper, but so does my ex wife. Panthers O line has been bad since Jordan Gross and Ryan. Yes, I've said that about the Panthers. To start on the outside and work your way in is the opposite of building a team in the right direction. Uh, Same. Um, in all actuality, I almost bought a Ragnow because I was high on Ragnow coming out of college. I knew he was a guard that could play center. Did I know he'd be an all pro center and a pro bowler? Hell no. I'll take it though. Um, 7. Seven's probably the Rams. I would say the Rams are 7. 8, Seahawks. 9, the Saints actually have a pretty good O line. They just don't have a QB. So I think 9 is the Saints. 10 is the Packers right now, and 11. I I want to give it a shot at teams that just rebuilt their O line, and I think it's somewhere between. I think it's a tie at 11. So 11A and 11B is probably the Bears and the Cardinals. Um, because both of them look good on paper, but I just don't know. But they're better than the guys at the bottom of the list. The other 4 teams that are left in the conference is what I'm getting at. And that's my breakdown of pretty much everything in the NFC except for running backs, which I'll do tomorrow. And of course, we will have the Fornicate Your Feelings Friday, where I bring up the best memes out of the huddle and post them up for you guys to look at. You do agree with my list. Okay, good. I don't, I just don't see those bottom 4 teams. And as much as I hate to say this, Will, the next one just outside of that is Minnesota. Because Minnesota, you don't know what that O line's going to do. They look good for a minute. Kirk Cousins goes down, a couple injuries. They've been very injury prone, and they haven't gone young enough to replace the aging hurt players on their roster. So I don't know if that's going to work. Not sure I want to see your memes. Stop being so agreeable. Well, be the supervillain you are. Yeah, I think Minnesota is probably the best of the last, and then after that, you got the Panthers, Giants. Who's the- I'm going around the league in my head. Oh, and Commanders. Commanders added, but yeah, they're in that same boat as the Bears. It's on paper. You don't know how good it's going to be. I think you could probably put Minnesota ahead of the Bears and Cards at 11, and then drop everybody down into that list. But I didn't want to be mean because I do think they're improved, but it's on paper. God, I wish I had a co-host today. For one reason, I need a bathroom break. The coffee just hit me. Give me uno momento, por favor. Hello. I drink coffee every morning. Matt Henry, that's funny. Yes, um, Jaden Daniels does have a lot of that going for him, but they also have a lot of offensive weapons around him. I think he was put in the second best rookie quarterback. It was a break that if I didn't do it, um, you guys would have heard some nasty sounds on the air, and I'd be sitting here in my pew like at church. But I don't think it would be as enjoyable. Wrong type of pew. Hey, I could pick on myself too. I see you like my nickname that I gave the Washington Commanders on the other show. We all seen Chuba Hubbard, but I almost would rather Brooks be used like a 1B because he's just coming off that ACL injury. I would go just the opposite for now until he proves he can stay healthy. I wouldn't want to risk Brooks re-injuring that knee as a workhorse back. We've all had that time when we thought I got a fart, but oh yeah, I changed that old limerick from the old days about fantasy dark horse I like. Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't think either one deserves a first round grab, but in the second or third round, maybe even a fourth rounder. Um, Another guy I wouldn't mind grabbing late as depth to be on your roster because I think he's going to be good in the NFL because his dad was Brendan Rice. Brendan Rice. And the older we get, the worse it gets. Yes, sir. Alone I sat so broken hearted, tried to fart, but oops, I sharted. My life has been degrading downhill ever since 45. That's when the teeth problem started. That's when my heart attack happened. That's when a lot of bad things happened that year. Quantez Stigers already got injured at camp. That's why you haven't heard any news on him. He'll be out until training camp. He got hurt at OTAs. I like Chubb late as a third or fourth round running back. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to get Gibbs in the fourth round again like I did last year. Amon Ra is a first round talent fantasy wise. He's been going as high as 9 and as late as 12 on average. Laporta also has been creeping up. I think his average pick has been around 15. So I like having that 10 through 12 pick myself. And that's how I get my team good, is I'll grab somebody like St. Brown. I wonder if there's any CFI guys to check on who may enter the NFL draft next year. Well, the CFL has actually started playing now. Their preseason stuff. So they're worth a watch. But I think the best two came out because the defensive MVP and their runner up Betts and Stiggers are already in the NFL. If Richardson stays healthy, I think they're the second best team in that division. Well, Quentin Johnson did have a down rookie year, and that's fine. You know, Hopefully they got a better wide receiver coach to help him learn how to not catch with his body, which is what they talked about the entire time. He takes a bad point of attack on high passes, which allows cornerbacks to hit him at the proper time to knock the ball out, so it's not a reception. Um, he doesn't secure the ball with the body catch as well. There are guys that do this. I've already tried this, JB. Watching the CFL is like kissing your cousin. Exactly. Um, it was just a rookie record year. I think he's going to get better. Johnson had alligator. Yeah, I just said that. That's literally right out of his. Them getting to the national championship game is what got Quentin Johnson picked up. Oh man, I just went over the top 11 O lines in the league or in the NFC. Um, there really hasn't been any news. We've just been doing questions through the chat. Orlando's missing VD's titties again. That's nothing new. That's every day he's not here. Just to be clear, not my cousin, of course. That's Arena League. His tight end one rookie record was a huge season. Yes, but at the same time, he didn't break 1,000 yards. He did get double digit touchdowns, but he did get 90 plus receptions. So in a PPR league, I think Sam Laporta's still a safe bet to grab as one of the. I think Sam Laporta is still like a TE3 at the worst. Dwayne King, good afternoon to all. Let's go Detroit Lions, one pride. Von Doom must be hard at the grind. I haven't seen him on here in a week. I know. He's been working so long that by the time he gets home, he sits down, he eats his dinner, and he might finish it. And like I said, that's probably one of the hardest working men in this business with me. And I'm happy to call him my friend, my brother, my compatriot, and my co host. But I understand if you're working that hard, you're not, you just can't go on. And I've been there. When I was doing my 6, 10 hour days and still doing the show, there was nights when I was just like, "Hey guys, sorry I can't do it." And it's my show. So the show just didn't go on because I was solo. Wife heard about my obsession. He's grounded. Nah, she said, "You can look at him, you just can't touch him." You know what the worst part is when you pass that rest area and it doesn't say next rest area and how many miles. And right after you get past the exit, you see the next one that says next rest area 58 miles. And then the urge to pee comes, especially when you're heading north and you're getting just past what is that, Standish? Is it the long way to the West Branch exit and Algiers, all that? Then you got the next long trek till you get to St. Helens. And there's no gas stations in between there. You're just sitting there and you're like, your eyes are starting to cross to hold it because your teeth are floating behind your eyeballs. It's still Pride Month. Yeah, I know. It is this. Yeah, yeah. That's the urge. I'm talking about because when you gotta poop, there's nowhere for guys to go. Nowhere. I'm not crapping on the side of the road. Then you gotta open both doors and make like an outhouse, and you're sitting there and you're going, and every time, every time I've tried, you hear the tractor fire up, and you're like, son of a bitch, because it's always by farmland. It's never near the woods. My luck, I'd wipe with poison ivy. Oh, you don't keep a roll of toilet paper in your car? Shame on you. Colorado heading into Utah has one of those 90-mile stretches. Unfortunately, I have made that drive. Oh my goodness, yes. Isn't there like a are you talking about from the Colorado state through Nevada where there's nothing? No, because I don't poop on the road. I have toilet paper in my car in case I got blows my nose because it's easier to find that roll of toilet paper than a box of Kleenex because my car is a work car. I'm just gonna say it. It's trash. I gotta get mine detailed. And I will call my buddy Gloss Negron. Even though he's not a sponsor, I'm still gonna support him because he's 100% a good friend of mine. Brian did a good job on my car, and I'll let him clean it up again. Roll a TP and a life straw in the glove box as proof of life lessons and sense. Yes, sir. There it is. I usually find a stale granola bar in there too. And you know what else is good to keep in your car? Especially in the wintertime. Jeremy lives in a pedo van down by the river. No, sir, that's Zach Wilson with his free wine sign on the side of the van. Get it right. Zach Wilson was sorely disappointed after he signed his letter of intent to go to BYU because he learned that the mascot, the Cougar, was not the MILF, but the animal. Say it in your Chris Farley. I've got a Chris Farley voice. I didn't know I had one. Yes, absolutely nothing. Okay, now I know what you were answering when I asked that. Yep. Man, I love this because we go into so much other stuff than just football talk. We talk life stuff, but in the wintertime, in your car, three things you should keep. Bo Nix or Wilson starting number. It's a toss up right now. I heard both are having a good camp. The van down by the river skip by Farley. I I didn't watch a lot of Saturday Night Live back then. I'm sorry. My life didn't allow me to have a lot of time on Saturday Night Live, except Saturday nights, except to sleep for a while. And then once I was back in the bar scene, I never saw Saturday Night Live. I don't think once I got into DJing at bars and karaoke, and that was from the age of what, 34. What three things we need in the car? Emergency blanket, a tin coffee can, and votive candles. That's for the winter. They're more important than anything else. If your car dies on the side of the road, the emergency blanket is to keep you warm. The votive candle, you light it in the bottom of the coffee can and it does the convection heating. It'll actually warm your car up by 30 degrees for 4 hours at a time. So that's just enough to keep you from freezing. The emergency blanket is so after you get the car warmed up, you can stay warm. And that's in the main part of your car. Water should always be in your trunk because the plastic bottles, if they get exposed to sun, it turns the water toxic. UV rays do. No wonder my job. No, I don't enjoy pedo jokes. I said if your car dies on the side of the road, these are things you need in there to stay warm. Talking about the middle of winter. I'm keeping Mountain Dew in my car. Hey, I don't blame you. Man, it's been an amazing off season so far. Talking football with you guys, and anybody that doesn't think any of those things are not going to help you, they just haven't been in that situation where you're going to be broke down in the middle of a snowstorm. No cell service where you're at. It's nighttime. That's awesome, Patty Grimes. I'm glad you're going. I'm hoping to make a few good connections down at the golf event that I'll be attending on August 26th in Detroit. That is the Beaumont Children's Hospital fundraiser hosted by Donnie and Mark Wahlberg. There's lots of current and former players of all the Detroit sports that'll be there. How did we survive the 80s? You know what we did to survive the 80s? We just did. Should I wear Goff or Dan Campbell jersey? I say Campbell. I don't like wearing current jerseys at a game, and I'll tell you why. I did one time. The player got injured. Is less gold going to be there? Went outside and got lost. Lived every minute. Yes, sir. We drank from hoses. We fell down, got hurt, wouldn't go home because we were having too much fun. Didn't hurt till we walked in the door. Why? Because we got to our moms. Moms are the greatest treasure that no one realizes they have till she's gone. Thank God I have mine because I know this ahead of time. Because her mom was my second mom, and I lost her 14 years ago now. Good Lord, time has been traveling. Couple magazines under Dad's bed. Yep. There was a couple of those. Hey, I was raised on Playboy. Why I got that sense of humor in the bad dad jokes. Sounds like I remember jumping my bicycle and staying out until dark and playing softball all afternoon, baseball every now and then, depending on whether it was that was our cross gender sport. Remember that, everybody? Guys and girls could play softball together. That was the co ed sport that everybody did. Paul Jones, good to see you, brother. Lee, Seth, and Ashley. are Detroit icons in the. Yep. I'm thankful for my dad, despite him being a Vikings fan. 100%. Hey, Smoking Dad, late to the show, but he's here. And look, JBJ isn't here, but Smoking Dad is. I'm good. Remember what I said earlier, Orlando? Ding dong ditch, TPing. They don't build kids like us anymore. The kids today call it murder ball or whatever they call it. No, we called it when we were kids. Put it in the chat. What did we play? The game where you toss the ball up in the air, one person catches it, and everybody tries to tackle and kill this kid. What was that game called when you guys played it in school? Yes, exactly. That's what it was called here. Tickle that pickle. Yep, absolutely, Patty Grimes. Now, I'm going to say why that wasn't an offensive name, because that name came out when our parents were kids, and it didn't mean the same that it does now to the LGBTQIA plus elemental P. It's the book definition of the word. They were the odd man out. They were weird, odd, different. That's what the word actually meant back in the day. It was nothing offensive. It was not the slang term. And everybody forgets that there actually is a book definition for that word before it became a slanderous term. A common sentence back in the old days was, that guy is awfully queer. I'm bringing back 1890s swear words. And they weren't talking about his sex drive or sexual preference. They were talking about the fact he was odd. He was a weirdo. They didn't say pedo back in the day. They called him queer. Food for thought. It is time for us to do our favorite part of the day. Let's talk about it. Oh, what does he say? I'm not a Jerry Sandusky fan. I was about to say, when I grew up, it meant odd or weird. Exactly. I know the book definition. I have my Webster's dictionary, unabridged edition, the one that's hardcover and looks like the ones in the libraries. Yes, it is that time. FTP. Fornicate the Packers, flog the porpoise, or the pride. However you want to say it, that's what it means. My 1890 word just got censored. Oh no. Oh man, we have fun here. But oh boy, what does Paul say it here? Great chatting, JB. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day. Ohio produces steers and queers, and Ryan Day don't have horns. They also produce potato chips with our last name, right, Dad? 7 Day ban coming in 3, 2, 1. Oh no, no, the 7 day ban. Don't get the 7 day ban. That's like being a part of the Taliban. Oh, that was funny. Uh, and of course, my last sponsor, which is Brandon's Tire Service, right there at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, 602 West Atherton Road in Clinton, Michigan, 48507. If you need tires, come visit us. We got them right there. Used tires starting at $40 and up. New tires, get your quote by calling 810-233-8230, and we will tell you right up front exactly how much it is, tax included. As for George Redder myself, I keep reading the stuff coming up in the chat and trying to do a serious commercial and not laugh. Right here in Flint, Michigan, where the water is bad, but the tires are good. Uh, Thank you so much to everybody out there. We had a great show. Look at that man. Yeah, I don't own it. The owner of the shop owns it. It's insured and has the shop's name on that, not mine. Sorry. I've got a 2008 Malibu leather interior, electric sunroof. He lives by the river, man. I think the inside of this house proves I'm not on a river van. It is drywalled. I've never seen a van drywalled. But try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat. There is some upcoming broadcasts on the Roku and Amazon Fire Stick, so I must bid you all adieu. Have a great day. Go watch that skit. Thanks, everybody. That's only minute 7. I got 30 more seconds. What should I talk about for 30 more seconds, guys? Today's not Homer Takes. That's tomorrow. So I'm not going to go Homerish yet. I could. It's easy to do. Tomorrow is Home of the Bad Takes on the Huddle Up Sports Network as Jeremy goes total Homer for one day. Have a great day, everybody.
Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Here locally in the community, make sure y'all go check out New Cat Body by Jeremy.